Well, I got a text that UPS package had arrived, and I see it sitting here, but I thought I better run out and check it. We've had a heck of a wind for the last 2 days, and it's still going on. Uh, it's been something else. It was funny. Like yesterday, it was 75 degrees, and in like 2 or 3 hours, it dropped down 50 degrees down to 25 degrees at night. Just weird weather. I haven't looked, usually if we got something like that, like this terrific wind, and it switched, it was out of the south yesterday, and today it's out of the north, it usually means somebody somewhere in the country is getting a good chunk of weather, of some tremendous thing. But from now on, it's supposed to be really nice, but we just had this one little weird break in here. But I was going to mention something, and I didn't do a video because I didn't want to go out in the wind, or I have to do it in the garage or something. But right in the vehicle here, I'm all right. So we'll talk about this. Now, I saw today on the news that YouTube is going to be doing an experiment with the likes and dislikes on videos from the White House, because they've had this problem that their feelings get hurt, because every video with Biden in it has way more dislikes than likes, as many as 10 times as many dislikes as likes. So they were going to disable just the dislike portion. You can still like their videos, and you can actually dislike them, but it just doesn't show them. They don't want you seeing the ratio, is what they're after. I can understand it. I always thought it was kind of humorous. When you start getting that kind of ratio, there's a problem there. Now, on my videos, I generally don't leave the likes and dislikes on. I mean, there again, you can click on them and it shows, I can see them, but it doesn't show publicly. I just figure there's really no point in it. I don't like people going in, looking at a video with the thought of, so many people dislike this, well then there's something wrong with me if I dislike it. So I don't, it's just something I feel better leaving off. So I can see where they're coming at, but it's kind of weird, like generally I get 1 or 2 dislikes on a video, and that's about it. Like I thought there was one video in particular that was funny that I actually expected, because sometimes I go into these expectant to get dislikes on them, and just kind of out of curiosity I'll poke with it. But I did a video, what was it called? Turning red states blue, with this migrant situation, which is getting crazier and crazier by the minute. Anyway, that video, I thought I'm going to get a little feedback on that, a little pushback. But it was kind of, even I was a little surprised. It had 1 dislike and like 300 likes. Now, I normally get 1 dislike or 2 dislikes on a video. These are really things it's personal grudges. It isn't anything to do with the video. They just happen to always be there. But what I thought was funny, the video was up for like a day, and I poked them a little. I purposely monetized this. And they left it monetized for a day, and then they demonetized it. And I thought, well, no big deal. I don't get shook about that. I don't go, appealing their decisions and this sort of thing. I just left it go. Then a day later, it was monetized again. Now, this is the most confusing thing. Normally, if they demonetize something, that's the end of it. But to remonetize it without being pushed on it, this surprised me. But it surprised me only that it's kind of interesting, but it doesn't, you know, something like that. You don't make that much on them anyway, so it's no big deal. It's more just to get it off my mind. But still, I'd have to say it's on my mind, because here I thought Harris is going to go down there and clean that situation up. Nope, she don't want to go down there. She wants nothing to do with that. That's funny. So they keep up with their mess. But like I say, any of the videos coming from the White House, they're trying this as an experiment for now. But odds are they're going to do this right across the board, because they can't, you know, the idea of getting 10 times as many dislikes as likes, that's a little hard. You know, you're obviously doing something wrong. It isn't like it's this organized protest kind of thing. It's just that people don't like what you have to say, because it's nothing but a line of bullshit. I always thought too, well, I'll go into it, but I always thought it's funny, you know, like on these, any of the videos that the liberals put out, they always got to have somebody doing, you know, the weird hand gestures, you know, for the people who can't hear. Now, I can see if you're doing that live, at a live speech for the people in the audience. But when you're doing it on television, having this person jumping around, just, and some of these people are pretty darn strange, you know, it's just distracting, because you're looking at this person leaping around and flopping her hands around, and it, you know. But when it's on a video or on television, it doesn't make any sense. You can do the closed captioning that makes a hell of a lot more sense. But the only ones you'll see this on are any that are put out by the Democrats or by the liberals. It's to show just how open-minded they are, you know. So, whenever I see that, if there's a box in the corner with somebody flopping their arms around, I know right away there's going to be a line of bullshit. The person who used to do it for the White House, they actually end up firing, because I know that one time, Biden was giving some speech, and she was doing the normal arm flopping routine, and then he went off into some spasm of blubbering nonsense. And of course, how can you interpret that? You can't, you know. It's no way possible. So she just stopped and gave him a weird look, you know, and that killed it for her. You know, then they had to get somebody else up there, you know, after that, because, but it's impossible. You couldn't possibly, even the closed caption, I mean, it's humorous sometimes. If you look at YouTube's closed captioning on a video, sometimes it's ridiculous if the person isn't talking, you know, plainly. It can go off into strange things, but when Biden is talking and he goes off on these fits, there's no way you can interpret that. Closed captioning can't do it. No human being can do it. He's talking in a whole different language of his own. But they fired her over that. But outside right away, when I see that closed captioning up in the corner, or that interpreter up in the corner, I know I'm going to see a line of bullshit. You know, so I don't even bother watching. You know, but it's the idea, and to me that's kind of pandering. You know, they're making it seem like they're real open. You know, that they're including the people who can't hear. But I think it's just really pandering, you know, because, like I said, the closed caption makes a whole lot more sense, you know, and works a lot better. They really don't need to have that interpreter. But anyway, likes, dislikes, you know, I do notice it on some people's videos, but I don't really, you know, like I say, on mine, I usually leave them off altogether. I mean, I'll look at them sometimes out of curiosity because I can see them, but it doesn't really matter. And the fact that if a video gets dislikes on it, any likes or dislikes, they're still counted as activity on the video. You know, they really count the same, so it really doesn't matter. But people on the Biden videos were just kind of expressing their opinion. And the White House really doesn't want to hear their opinion. Well, I'll see what I got. I think it's just metalwork stuff for the bus. But I'll have to check in the box because there might be something more in there. But that's a steady stream of stuff coming in here. None of my stuff came from, you know, this is all stuff coming from this country. So I didn't, when the Suez Canal was closed down, it didn't bother me. But I thought it was funny. Yeah, most of that stuff was going to Europe anyway. Years ago, I did a video. I'm getting off track again, but what the hell. Years ago, I did a video saying that the Suez Canal is a really risky thing. You know, that you got this little narrow thing. You sink one ship in there, and it's going to screw up world shipping. And I know I got pushed back from a couple of people. Oh, no, nothing goes through the Suez Canal anymore. We don't need that. Everybody goes around. That ain't so. Whereas like 18% of the world's commerce goes through the Suez Canal. And it would be so easy for somebody to block that it's just completely ridiculous. You know, one ship sunk in the middle of that thing and you are done. No. But no. Everything goes around, he said. They said. Some people really don't pay attention to things.